Boxing Doc. Boxing family, I hope y'all are having a great Tuesday morning. I just wanted to bring to you guys this video here of Kovalev after the rematch, stating his opinion on what took place and his assessment of that fight. And to be honest, I gotta give Kovalev credit here. He's gone against his nature, and he's given us a little bit of light and a little bit of truth in terms of what took place in that rematch between him and Andre Ward. So he posted this on Instagram. He obviously wrote in his native language first, which has been translated into English. And so he says, "I admit that Ward was better in rematch. I give him credit. He did his homework with A and showed his professionalism and discipline, but he didn't put an end to our clash. I fought with two people in the ring. I will be back." So, I give him credit. He did his homework with A and showed his professionalism and discipline. I really rate this. Like, Kovalev has to be given a round of applause for this, because if you guys have been studying the man during the entire promotion for the rematch, he's been a man of excuses. So to do this is really going against his nature. I know it took everything within him to come out and give this admission, especially so shortly after the rematch. Being a prideful man like he is, and just, conceding. Like, it's hard after a loss. If you guys are really competitive people, you would understand. It's so tough to come and admit that you just weren't the better man that night. But Kovalev has been able to do so, and even though I say that, I am aware that this is somewhat of a backhanded compliment, because at the end he says he was fighting two people. He says, but he didn't put an end to our clash. I fought with two people in the ring. I will be back. I'm assuming the second person he's talking about is Tony Weeks. It is what it is. I mean, again, that's his nature, right? A cow moos, a dog barks, and Kovalev makes excuses. It's just who he is. If you guys have ever studied psychology, or have ever read up on any psychological terms, you probably would have come across a concept called loci of control. And basically there are two types of loci of control. You have the external locus of control and the internal locus of control. And this is what differentiates people in terms of how they see their results. Somebody with external locus of control will look to something externally, something outside of them, to explain the result that they got. For example, Kovalev, after he lost the first fight, he pointed to not being a Native American. He pointed to fighting an Olympic hero. He pointed to it being a wrong decision. He pointed to his training for the visible decline in stamina that we saw in the latter part of the fight. He, according to boxing pundits and people who are very close to the sport, he was putting blame on his coach. He was trying to bring in a new Russian coach. He brought in a biathlon trainer. So Kovalev seemed to have something outside of him to explain the reason why the result happened the way it did. And that is in sharp contrast to somebody with an internal locus of control, who attributes whatever result takes place to what they were able to do. Essentially, the reason for that result turning out the way it did exists inside of them. For example, you have Andre Ward, who said, I know I'm better than that. I got to a slow start. That is my fault. I put that on me. And I can't let that happen for the second fight. I'm going to come out with a much quicker start. It's that simple. It's really that simple. That's what differentiates the two loci of control, the two different people. And generally, from what I understand, people who have an internal locus of control, tend to be a lot more successful because there's nothing extrinsic. They don't look at extrinsic factors to explain their results. It's simply about, what can I do to affect this situation? What can I do to make sure it goes this way, that way? Everything that they can do in their power to make sure a result turns out the way it does is something that they're going to do, something that they're going to implement. If you have an external locus of control, you will never be responsible for the result that takes place. Take, for instance, Kovalev saying that he's going to end the man's career. Right? Why didn't you do everything in your power to make sure that came to fruition? Right? And it's much easier said than done. Like, he's going up against an Olympic gold medalist, an A+ type of fighter, as he admits here. So it's very hard to do, but at the same time, when you're so sure of yourself, you should make sure that you do everything within your power to make sure it comes to fruition. Right? Don't leave it up to something else. Don't blame somebody else. Don't say there were two people in the ring. But again, this is who Kovalev is, so this is no surprise. All in all, I'm very happy and satisfied with this statement here, because it takes a true man to give this admission, even if it is a backhanded compliment. He's explaining to us that he fought the better man that night, and that Andre Ward was significantly improved from the first fight, and that he deserved to win this fight. He's giving him credit, so props to Kovalev. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think Ward put on an A performance against Kovalev? Do you think that the low blows were mainly the reason why Andre Ward won? Do you think that Kovalev will be back and stronger? There are other guys you could face in the division, but I mean, 175 is stacked. It's stacked. I mean, I would love to see him and Artur Beterbiev, of course, Adonis Stevenson, maybe even a Joe Smith. I mean, it's popping in 175. So, but yeah, leave your comments in the section below. Again, thank you for all the love and support. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Boxing family, it's the Boxing Doc signing off.